Hello, Socratic. I am going to review your lian game. It's exciting. Okay, so your deck is pretty standard. Heraldry 5. This is dash distance 1, limbs 3, shining topaz 4, and then the whatever valor grace reset crap. The only card in here that's a little bit controversial is probably shining topaz, and you're running it at a very high level. So I actually used to run Shining Topaz 4 as well, and at first I thought this was like fucking amazing. Like after they nerfed Eminence, or after they nerfed Heraldry is what happened. I was like, Shining Topaz makes up for the nerf to Heraldry. Then I realized it's really not that great. Like it doesn't significantly change my gameplay. And I personally prefer to run self-heal. I like a bit more self-sustain on my Q. And you know that you can just use your Q you just basically Q if you need the health. Most people run it, if they run it at all, they run it at like 3 or 4. And it does not put you in combat. Something that Sam doesn't understand why that is, and I also can't explain it, but it's a nice, I guess, like quality of life thing to have. Anyways, so I already watched this like a couple times. I'm gonna kind of fast forward here a little bit. So everything you do at the beginning of this game up until like the second point fight. So you guys win, point, and push. Everything you do here is like perfectly fine. Like you got rid of the Moji early on. There's nothing you could have done more. Like, there's something more you could have done for that Damba. Like, Atlas is just so annoying. It's like a tank with a million movement speed going at your healer. What are you gonna do? And also, like, mechanically, your Leon is really good. I mean, by my standards. But you didn't miss a Q until, like, really late in the second half of this game. All good. You almost died to the Moji, but didn't. Like you played, like you obviously know how to deal with the Moji for the most part. Like I don't know, like you killed her so many times and so early on that I think she stopped trying to flank and push into you, because you just like to like keep her kind of like mid range, and that's where Leon wins the fight against Moji. There you go, killing Moji again. So for the most part, during this whole entire game, Moji is not your problem. Like, Atlas is your biggest problem. He walks into you a lot, and also Victor spams you a lot. All of this is really good. You don't shoot the barrier. Really good. So yeah, all this, boring. Okay. Now I will slow it down. Here is where your problems begin as a team. But again, like I said, I don't think it was definitely not a mechanical issue with you. It wasn't really even an issue with you alone. It was just your team had some weird ass positioning sometimes, and that probably lost you guys the game. So at the beginning of the game, you know that Atlas pushed through the right side, which makes sense because that's what he's supposed to do. I don't know what on earth prompted your Ashe to go left side. Like he kept spamming like go left or something. Did he? I thought he did. If he didn't spam it, he just went left. Oh, there it is. So what is on the left side? Like I think this is Ashe's misplay. You should be expecting, so you're like, you see the Moji, you shoot through the window, but this is something that you told me to do, just check your flanks, and you knew that Atlas came right side last time. You didn't look if he was there. I don't know exactly where he came. He probably like wrapped all the way around through here or something. because I can't see him on your screen. You weren't really looking for him. So I think that the fact that Ashe went left and you didn't even check the right side was problematic for sure. It took like three. I mean, you're very lucky, I think, that the BK actually peeled, because but it was still like 3 of you on 1 Atlas, and in the meantime what happened was Ashe is really not doing anything, and then Inara is taking too much pressure minimally from Barrick and Moji, possibly Victor. I have no idea where the fuck Victor is on here. So that was why you guys lost this. Like, that alone. There's nothing really you can do here. You just need to back out, like, super hard. Like, super, super hard. Not sure why you went back for that Q. Not sure.
Show them no mercy.
You've been very nice.
You're just dead here. It just didn't even matter if you died anyways. But yeah, anyways, because there was comeback, and you guys lost the initial team fight because of strange choices in positioning as a team, that was just lost. Like, there's nothing you could have done. Like, there's no way that you alone can burst through an Atlas, and he had rewind up. So it was just kind of like, rip. Unless you could have killed the Atlas before your Inara died and then somehow saved your Inara. That was nice. Cute. Also, because the Atlas was such a big problem for your team, he just kept walking into the backline. That was a nice kill on Moji, by the way. Your whole team should have bought resi, including you. At the end of the game, the last time he pulled up the item shop, which is like really late game, the only person who I saw that got resi, and it was only resi 1, by the way, was Inara. It's just on Mother's Grace. Not to say that you can't buy resi if you're on Inara on Mother's Grace, but like, she already has some built-in CC, and no one else does, and no one else got resi. Like, resi weakens Atlas significantly. Like, that counters his ult, that counters his, like, the amount of displacement he causes you. It's so good. Like, it definitely Ashe needed it.
I hope you are.
Nah, that was fine that you died there. It's not a big deal, and I mean, I think it was Atlas that killed you. Maybe Victor. It wasn't really Moji. That was funny. Did he just VR himself because he poppied the Atlas off? I have no idea.
30 seconds remaining.
No, there's nothing really to say here. You're still dealing with emoji well. She's still scared to push into you, which is great. You guys defend fine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your Domba actually gives you a ton of healing this game, which makes me super jealous.
Don't be.
The only time I get healed that much by Domba is when Sam's playing Domba.
Thanks.
Capture point spawning in 15 seconds.
Different emoji. Oh yeah, I thought that was Atlas or Victor, but couldn't really tell. I guess Atlas. Okay.
Happy to help.
So
Enemies on the right flank.
you guys go right this time, which is great.
Okay.
And we do this split thing, which is cool. Alright. So you saw the Atlas come here, walk into probably Domba, and you just kind of ignore him. I can kind of understand why, because you're like, oh, I'm the DPS that's supposed to be playing with Ashe or something, and Ashe is like way deep in their apartments, I think, with the Victor. But I just don't agree with that. I think it's fine that you're on the high ground or whatever, but don't ignore the Atlas. Again, the whole reason you guys lost the last point fight was because the Atlas came on the right side and you just couldn't deal with him. But it's like, well, if you're not even looking at him, Damba alone definitely can't deal with him. So that was weird. I understand you and Ash killed the Victor there, but technically that was just the Ash. I don't even think you got your Q off on him. I guess that was the first Q you missed, actually. So, yeah, that was just weird. And I think Damba just ulted the Atlas, right? To save himself. Somehow, despite you just kind of like doing a lap around the map and doing actually nothing, you guys still win this? Like, this kill on Barrack was really good. And it's actually good that you ignore the point for a brief moment and help the Ash. So that's really unfortunate that you didn't kill the Victor there, because he kills you in like 10 seconds.
Be careful.
Alright, this is another time. Okay, so you're up here, which is good. I like that you're up here, but I'll remind you again of what you reminded me of, which is you didn't check your flanks, so you're like so honed in on looking at Fury over here. Like, even if you'd stood down here, you'd have gotten better line of sight as to who's actually coming down, because this whole thing is just blocking you. So you're not checking, like, who could be. Like, it's very possible that someone is just coming down here, and it turns out that the emoji did, and you're just fucked. Like, you actually kind of saw someone here. I think you reacted to it, but what are you going to do? And actually, when you see someone here, I don't know if you want to go to main, because everyone's going to be collapsing onto main. There's just going to be a lot of commotion. You probably will take a lot of stray bullets. I would have probably just gone this way. That was just a good Victor ult, and you just were positioned unfortunately. Now, after that, you guys probably still could have won, at least held, maybe, but at least had a chance if Damba hadn't been on point. I just don't know why he stays on point. Is he scared of being flanked? I don't know, but why is he on point? Moji kills him. This is like the only time, do you notice the only time Moji went to your backline was when you weren't alive? Because, like, you scared him so much. So that was just obviously bad zoning. You and Ash both should have come back a lot earlier, and then I don't know why Damba ended up on point. Maybe there was a reason. Again, maybe like someone was behind him and he knew that. He just needed somewhere to hide. But even so, being exactly on point is not really where we want to be, right? Like, either be on our side or like basically your side of point, or maybe even go to the what do you call it, the dock side, like the left side. So I can't have. I didn't see anyone on the left side, at least. That's just Victor being Victor. I mean, honestly, given how much Ash got CC'd, if you could have just told him, like, in chat, like, please get resi. Sometimes that works, and then sometimes that wins you guys the game. This is a funny sequence. That was a nice heal by Damba onto you. Like I said, very jealous of all the healing you got. I don't think Moji had stacks on you, by the way. I could be wrong. I don't think she could have melted you that fast. And even if she did, I don't think it really mattered. Not that it made that much of a difference.
30 seconds remaining.
Like, now I'm starting to notice you're missing more Qs. Like, I don't think it makes, I guess, I can't say it doesn't make a difference, but it's bound to happen. We're not all rock monkey.
10, 9, 8, 7,
This is a really good, like, you just like melt him.
3,
It's amazing.
1.
I think if you get the jump on a burst mode Victor, and like by getting the jump I mean like you go on full health and you get your Q off on him, I think you just outburst him. And it's harder for him to hit you when you're that close to him. So actually, like, I feel like for burst mode Victor as Leon, you want to be closer, and then versus Moji, you want to be further away. Oh, I wanted to, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, see? Inara's the only one who got Resi 1. It's fucking ridiculous, guys. Against Atlas, Resi 2 for everybody is a necessary buy. So at least your team has figured out to go right over the course of the game, which is good. I also think you guys misplayed the beginning of this point fight as well. And if you just misplay the beginning of any point fight when they have comeback mechanic, it makes it really difficult for your team to regroup and retake. Alright, this is good. This part, very good. Like, you burst the fuck out of this Atlas. You get them to rewind. Now, here, I don't understand. I just don't understand. So I needed you, or I wanted you to commit either to go in to help the Ashe, to finish off the Atlas, because basically an Atlas is the weakest. He already used all his cooldowns, right? So like he's the weakest when he has no cooldowns. He's just literally like the slow tank that can't do anything. I mean, yes, he can headshot you, blah, blah, blah. But he presumably is not full health. I mean, he might be, but I don't know. Point is, you know my point. You should have, your best bet at finishing off Atlas is right now, because he already uses shield, he already uses rewind. He has like nothing, basically. So either help the Ashe with that, or you can maybe even, like, I don't think there was anyone here. Like, you didn't see it, a Victor. Like, Victor would have been the only other person. You saw Barrack ult on point. I have no fucking clue where the emoji is, but I don't see her at all. You get that Q off on the Furia, but you don't follow up with it. Instead, you come here, which is interesting. Like, is it because you're 866 health and you just want to get healed up or heal out of combat? I don't know. But I think you could have pushed something. Because by the time that BK ulted over in where Ashe was, because you and BK kind of swapped, it was just too late. Like, Ashe just died. I don't know. Damba's trying to help the BK, the Moji. I guess the Moji was on point the whole time. Damba fucked up there because he didn't, like... I wouldn't say he fucked up. I guess it wasn't optimal. But I guess just like the whole thing of you not committing to the Ashe and then you and BK crossing, but Ashe dying is really suboptimal. So again, why the fuck is Damba on point? There's actually no reason there. Like before, I couldn't really tell, but here there's really no reason, and it's very annoying to watch. If he had been anywhere, like Damba in chat, he complained about the Atlas a lot, but I'm like, you could have let him walk into you. So that was on Damba. The beginning was on, I would say, you and how you positioned. But the end was on Damba. At this point, it doesn't even matter. You guys lost already. Your itemization is totally fine, except for your lack of resi. And Nara probably could have ulted, potentially, even without a healer, because she was like half at one point when Atlas ulted. She could have just ulted him just to get him out of his ult, and I don't think she would have died. But anyways, so the rest of this game is just Ashe getting fucked by basically CC. The whole fucking team staggering. That's it. Like, it's just a team stagger. That was why you got pushed on. Everyone just got tilted. This is fine. You had your ult. I know you know that you did that because you had your ult, so it's fine. It's good that the BK actually helped you there. So when you got rewound, it didn't actually matter. Woo! That was a nice kill. So I don't know why BK's so far in. Okay, here. Oh my god, you should have backed out so much earlier. So you saw like 3 of them coming at you. You still see like 3 of them. Fury just ulted. Ashe is fucked. I don't know why Inara comes up here after Ashe just died. Like, I don't know. And then here is just, I mean, I do this all the time. But holy fuck, that's a lot of people. I think you fucked up your dash. So again, this is like the whole stagger. I think you should have backed out like so much earlier. Like as soon as BK, well, maybe not. As soon as Ashe died, you should have backed out. Damba should have died also. Probably around the time that you died. Because now he and your tanks are like completely staggered out. Which is so unfortunate.
Enemy killing spree.
I said I'm bad. No one said I'm good. You actually had some time. The cart was like, you had probably 5 seconds to do that if you really needed to. Yeah, you could have dumped more damage in. Because your Ashe was respawning like just now.
You've been very nice.
I don't think that really made a difference. So yes, I understand the point of BK ulting here on point. Unfortunately, he should have probably gone for the Victor. Because I think Victor's damage fucked you guys pretty hard. If you could have gotten the pick on Victor, that would have been much better. It was just, again, a huge slaughter fest. Stagger fest. Anyways, again, I don't think it was so much you misplaying stuff. Like a couple of times. Like mostly your misplays were just at the beginning of the round when you didn't, you either ignored the Atlas coming on the right side or you just didn't commit anywhere. But still, that was more of a team misplay than you specifically, I think.